nothing like the second charm or third charm, whatever it is. So we're back, okay? And I forget sometimes when Gina, okay, so hi everybody, this is Christine Bertram and I'm coming to you live from the Hive here for Mystery Card Night Round 2. We were officially 7 minutes into the last video and the iPad storage thing pops up and it says that it is full, you're gonna lose your connection. And then it was like, wow, or however you do that. So, all right, so we have a second one out here. And now hopefully we'll start over and we'll see once what happens for this mystery card night. Like let's I'm gonna wait and see once we gotta get some people rocking and rolling back in here, and we'll go from there. But there is a new mystery card night, you guys. This is the second one. I just went out and I deleted the first one, and so hopefully this works now that we can see the October. What we're working on is October mystery card night. So let's see here if I can get into it again. It says I'm live. Your video has been removed by the uploader. That is true. I did delete it. So I wonder what's, you guys, we got to figure out what's happening. Because I am live. I do know that. But let's see here what's going on. So one moment, please. Okay, I don't know. It shows that I'm there, right? And you guys are here, so yeah. So I think we're live. I just don't see anything at the moment. So you guys, you gotta love this real-time stuff, right? That is how everything seems to work here. So I can say that we had successful Share, Create, Inspire. We had a successful showcase, and now we've got to get this thing rocking and rolling, and we are going to make that happen right now. Perfect. All right, I found it. So we're back. I needed to exit out of the app and come back in. So I said hi to a lot of you guys already. We're already 18 minutes into the class, but what happened for those, now I'll kind of go tell the story. I was live for 7 minutes and my tablet pops up with a little notice that says, your tablet is full. You cannot keep recording. And I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I tend to forget, I don't forget, but Gina does a bunch of lives, Kelly does lives, and it fills up the storage space. And normally what I do is at the beginning of the month, I go through and I delete stuff. I delete everything. So I start out fresh. Well, in September, we had the Autumn Creative Escape, and I don't think I did it in the beginning of October. So we had the Wounded Warrior extra stuff, and that was a 3-hour class. So anyways, long story short is we're back. We are back, and I seem live. Yes, I think I'm live. Yay. Oh, so I'm glad I'm here. Yay, physically here. And just in case you guys are wondering, the kittens are here. I've got a hunky doodle on the chair right there, and then Honey's on the chair right next door, and Bigger Tigger is off doing his thing. So, anywho, I gotta kind of start all over, and I apologize for those of you who watched the first 7 minutes with me. I gotta start over a little bit, just because I deleted that original video, and now we have a new video. In a nutshell, we had Share, Create, Inspire at 1, and we had the showcase at 3. I don't generally do 3 back-to-back YouTube lives, but we had some makeup stuff. The 1 o'clock Share, Create, Inspire was supposed to be back on the 9th, and we were going to do on the 22nd, the showcase. So we ended up with 3 lives today. So I'm wearing the same shirt on all the lives, and I chose Be Kind today, right? Because I wanted to send my message to love bees and be kind, right? And so just so you guys know, you can go back. During the Share, Create, Inspire, I talked a bit about the wedding and the festivities, and then in the showcase, we went over everything that's coming up for the month of November. So I know that a bunch of you were probably working and you didn't have time to watch it. And just so you know, it's out there. And when you have a moment, you can go ahead and watch those others too. So very good. Got it now on the laptop. Whoop, whoop. All right. So I'm going to drop the camera down. I know I feel like I missed out on some of the stuff that I talked about with you guys earlier, but for those that were watching, there were 47 of you watching, so you guys got some of that memo, so that's good. All right, so let's flip down, and in case you guys didn't catch it, this was Jenny Knutson's card from the Share a Recipe, Create a Card, Inspire Others. I used some of the new Otter stuff, super cool. And so that one, you guys, that's what you can catch. And then the other thing we talked about is that the showcase. Okay, the other thing. For those that are newer watching me, that you haven't seen me and my stuff, I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I come from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. I've been doing online YouTube and Facebook classes for about 4.5 years now, and I do a lot of in-person stuff, activities. So in case you're in the area, in the Fond du Lac area, and you'd love to take an in-person class, I have something every week in the Hive for classes, and we have weekly YouTube classes. And for this event right now that we're doing for Mystery Card Night, and I haven't even done the magnifying class, but I did it 3 times on the other one. For Mystery Card Night, this is your time to use whatever you want to use for products. I love using Stampin' Up! Products. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 11 years, been using their products for 24 years. They are what I love to use from a crafting supply. I know there's lots of other brands out there, and you guys are welcome. You always know that. You can use whatever you want for this class. I don't have a preference on what you use. I want to encourage you, though, to use stuff that you have had and you bought many years ago, however long ago. You could have bought it just last week. I really don't care. Use something that you've been dying to use, or something that you're like, gosh, I really would feel better about buying that if I use it. That's a good feeling. So pull those things out that you are wanting to use and make an awesome card. Hi, Irene Smith. Hi, Dalazelle. Yay. It's working again. Yeah. So one of the things I need to make sure I do is check that storage. So the other thing too, watch for spammers. Somebody mentioned on the first live that I did that was only 7 minutes long, somebody said that there was a spammer in there and that they were a person that wasn't supposed to be there. I don't know if I saw that, but if you guys see any weird comments that come in from somebody that's fishing or not meant to be in the live, you can always hard press on it or somehow right click on it, and you can report that person so that they're not in our community here. We do not want the spammers or the crazies, the weirdos in amongst our community. They are not welcome. But everybody else that loves to craft and stamp and make cards and scrapbook and do crafty things is always welcome. So we are going to drop the camera down. I'm going to share with you what I have coming up this Wednesday, which I already did once, but we'll do it again. I have one more YouTube live class on Wednesday night. I purposely did not set it for Thursday night, which is when I normally do classes, and that is because Thursday is Halloween. So we did a little switcheroo that we are live on Wednesday night with you guys for the IPS, and I think I have about 15 left of this class and no class on Thursday. But if you're wanting to watch it on Thursday instead, you could always watch the replay on Thursday at 6 during the normal time that you would watch it. Just catch the replay. It is working. Yes, absolutely. And Kai is back too. So perfect. Yes, we are back. We're live. We're in the flesh. All right. So we'll go over clue 1 here momentarily. And I just wanted to show this to you guys. I still have about 15 of this class left. This is for Wednesday night's IPS class. You get some of the Druzy gems and you just need some stamps. This one is it's called Iconic Celebrations Ink, Paper, Scissors. And that's your Thanksgiving card. Your iconic celebration here is a wedding. So we made a wedding card for you. This one is your either 4th of July or New Year's. We were more prone to the New Year's card with this one because of fireworks and it being more of a New Year's type look. This is your Christmas card, which is definitely an iconic celebration. This is your Valentine's Day card. And lastly is your winter card. And it's also Happy Holidays. But this is what we have. We had to keep making cards. 6 different cards for this class. So you get 6 kits. Comes with the Druzy gems, the twine, and a quarter pack of the designer paper. And again, that's Wednesday. If anybody wants to get in on that class, don't hesitate to reach out. So I was upstairs and I was shopping through my stuff and I came across this right here. This is what I have left over from the Frames and Flowers Stamp-A-Stack. And I was going through what I needed for clue number 1. And I thought to myself, oh, well, maybe this would be a good time to challenge myself to use these things. So if you did that class with me, 90 of you did that class with me, which was awesome. And I think 10 or 8 did it with Diane. Now, if you loved that class, just putting it out there, we have another Stamp-A-Stack called A Little Bit Festive Stamp-A-Stack. And we based our numbers off of this one. So we made 104 for the Stamp-A-Stack for the Christmas one that's coming up. It also includes 3 little gift bags, which are super cool. But when I had all these pieces left, I thought to myself, we didn't use these in the design of a card. So I thought, oh, these might be perfect for my scraps for this card right here that we're working on. So I'm going to set those off to the side. And what we're going to do, without further ado, is we're going to rock and roll right into clue number 1. So for those, hi Nancy Mole, for those of you, oh, Jolene's watching too. Christine, ha ha ha. Yes, we're here, yay. So for those of you who want to make a card with me, you're welcome to. We'll go through clue number 1, which is including all the measurements. And then what we'll do is walk through how to put the card together. And if you want to make your card tonight, you can. You can make it next week. You can make it whenever. But if you do share your card before the end of the month on my events page on Facebook, you'll get yourself in on the drawing, which is cool. And I'll show you what that's all about in a little bit. So we're going to start with clue number 1. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger so you guys can see it a little bit better. And we're going to talk about what we need. And we have a piece of white or vanilla that is a 5x4. So I have that. And then you guys, I'm using real stuff, so I'm not going to write on it. In the past, I used to write on my copy paper, but for right now, I'm just going to show you. I have a 5x4 here. And then I have a coordinating cardstock 1. So we use acronyms and letters every now and then. So like T equals tall, W equals wide, W here for white vanilla, so that's white or vanilla. Coordinating cardstock 1, we call that CC1 or CC2 or CPP. So lots of letters, OPP, yeah, you know me. Coordinating cardstock 1 is 1 piece, and it's 11 inches by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 1 1/2 and 6 3/4 along the 11-inch side. Hi, Holly again. So that's your coordinating cardstock 1. Boom. Coordinating cardstock 2, and the PCS is for pieces. So coordinating cardstock 2 is 2 scoops, 2 pieces of whatever you think would match. So it's a 4x4 and a 4x1 1/4. All right, so you've got those 2 pieces. Now, generally what people do for this class is they'll start with their coordinating pattern paper first, and they'll pick that, and then they'll match up the other stuff. So for my coordinating pattern paper, I chose this print. Remember, I had this, and so I was between this pattern, and this pattern, but knowing that I wanted to use these doohickeys, I opted to go with this pattern because I thought, oh, that'll look nicer in the back. So that's where I ended up choosing this pattern from. So this is 3 3/4 tall by 3 3/4 wide. It's a square, so it doesn't matter the orientation, but this matters for the orientation. And this is 3 3/4 wide by 1 inch tall. And so I did cut this right off the bottom here, like that. And what happened is I picked this out first, and then I knew that I wanted it to be matted on a color, so I chose Pretty Peacock. And then picked up Lost Lagoon then to be the base. And that's how I went about my colors that I picked. You're also going to need some scraps of white and vanilla and your coordinating cardstock. Now, knowing that you might use your coordinating cardstock for a mat or a label, you might just hold tight on gluing until we figure that out. So that's a little getting ahead of ourselves, but we'll come there in a moment. So you need scraps of paper in your white, vanilla, coordinating cardstock, or even pattern paper. And that's where I also pulled in these little scraps right here, are from that Frames and Flowers Stampas DSP pack. You're going to need some coordinating inks or markers, colored pencils, sentiments and image, ribbon. Oh, ribbon. Oh, I have some ribbon right here. Okay. I have ribbon right here. I have some scrap right here. It's kind of like the wrong color green. But I also have this right here. So we might just use what we have here. And look at this. I have some scrap-a-ronies right here of some white ribbon. I can work with this. This is sitting, literally, it's sitting in a little dish right here. And what kind of gems do I have here? Ooh, we could potentially use those gems as well. And hey, putting this out there, I'm phoning my friends right now. I came across this die on my floor about a month ago. And if any of my Stampin' buddies out there that know Stampin' Up! Dies know where that is from, you would win a prize if you tell me what it is. First person to tell me wins a prize. It is a die set. It does not have a number on the back. I think it's from something relatively current, but it's microscopic and little. All right, and so I have it taped to a piece of tape here so we don't lose it. But if anybody has an idea or an inkling of what that is, you are more than welcome to let me know, because I would love to find its home. And I keep forgetting to ask you guys about that. So you need some embellishments, which we found some scissors, adhesive of choice. And again, I might here think about some pretty peacock, and I'll bring in a block or two. Now, the other thing that I thought is I need some stamps. Choose your stamps or choose your words. I thought about layering leaves because there's a really pretty Sending Hugs in here. So Happy to Celebrate is in here. And then I brought these dies over because that's what I grabbed really quick. So how is that for working from one thing to the next and being on the fly? So all good? Are you guys good? How many of you are actually working on a card with me tonight versus watching and making them later? Looks like tag holes. Yeah, that's what they look like. I would agree. All right, so I am going to say, let's move on to clue number 2. I'm looking for feedback from you guys too. As we're done with clues, make sure to give me a thumbs up, say I'm done. Let me know so I can move forward. I don't want to move forward too fast. Take a pic and do a Google image search on it. Oh, okay. You look at this. We're all learning. And Susan's working on a card. Sherry is. Paula is. Okay, perfect. All right, good. Lots of you guys are going to make cards. I love it. Thank you for stamping with me tonight. And take a picture with the Google images. I got to try that. I have never tried that before, but that is a good suggestion. So let's go back here. Number 2, 2 scoops. Hi, Barbara Gobby. 2 scoops is easy. Fold and burnish the card base.
Where do you want them all?
Like there's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna stack it.
Yeah, stack them. Like yep. So fold and burnish the card base. So CC1 is coordinating cardstock 1 on the score lines. All right. So let's just set this off to the side because this is a nice, easy clue for us. So this one it was scored at, I think, 1.5 and 6 3/4. So what I like to do is I like to fold the one side over first, make sure that I'm lined up here, and then burnish it. I grab my bone folder and burnish. Hi, Sherry Martin. Now my trick is, okay, yep, the trick is like this. There's no trick, you guys. So I thought there was going to be a trick with this, and there really isn't a trick. So what happens is it actually becomes a little bit shorter of a card than your traditional A2 size. And actually, when you have this, it's 5 1/4. And if you didn't guess, a lot of people try to guess what kind of a card looks like before we go. If you didn't guess, you might now guess that it might be like a pocket here that we can use for a gift card or a check or money, like whatever it might be. So that's what we've got going on here. So clue number 2 is basically fold and burnish the card base on the coordinating cardstock for coordinating cardstock 1 on the score lines. All right, so this is what we got. And again, this one was scored at 1.5. Right here was 1.5, and then this one was scored at, I believe I said 6 3/4. So just a note here that was scored at 6 3/4 right there. All right, so there's that. All right, so that was an easy one. Hopefully that made sense. Burnishing on the score lines seems like it should be an easy clue for you. So I'm going to move on to clue number 3, and we'll proceed as usual. She thought a matchbook. Very good. See, thought a matchbook. All right. So this clue here, adhere each piece of coordinating pattern paper to its corresponding mat. Now I want to hold the phone and back up just a hair. Only because with this one, if you think there's a possibility you're going to want to create a label or some sort of a layer and you're gonna die cut it or punch it out, you might consider cutting that out of here before you actually glue it, because then you're not using more cardstock. So I have these dies that I brought over here. They're called Labeled with Love dies. So what I was thinking I would do, just because I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do it or not, but I am going to. I'm going to take my machine here, and if I don't end up using this, I'll be okay. I might pick something else, but I thought for now, let me just cut this out of here and then proceed with the whole assembly part of it. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but it's like an investment in the future in case I want to use it. So, hello, Mary Schreiber. So what do we have here? Again, going back to clue number 3, adhere each of the coordinating pattern papers to its corresponding coordinating cardstock 2 mat. So now I've got this. Again, nobody's going to know that's there. And instead of gluing the back of this, because I did cut my label off of there, I don't want glue to go through my hole. So we're going to glue the top of that, and then over here we're going to glue that onto the mat. So this goes here, like that, and then this one will go on here, like that. All right, so clue number 3 was a little bit easy, and I'm just trying to see now. I didn't really pay close attention to which was which here, but I think it goes like that, unless it goes like that, or maybe it goes like that. So, you guys, I didn't, there, that looks like it follows. Now, you might make sure that your pattern stays in order too. When I cut this, I really did cut this section, and then I cut this one right after it. So it should line up. All right. So that was clue number 3, which again was a nice, easy clue. We need easy clues like this tonight. All right. So number 4 is next. Let's boogie on over to number 4. So stamp sentiments and or focal images on the white vanilla mat towards the top of the mat as shown. So this might be a little bit hard to see. Hi, Linda Hall. But it has here, stamp your sentiment, some little focal images, and 5 inches is on this side vertical and 4 inches on that side. So when we go to our white mat here, or vanilla, so some people, if you use more neutral or natural colors, you go with vanilla, and when you have your cools, it's nice to use white. So just a note, you might have figured out, we talked about it being a matchbook card. So this will end up going here. And the reason we have here stamping it towards the top of the mat as shown is because you don't want to have it down here necessarily, unless the kind of card you have has something that looks cool that's peeking out, or maybe there's some sort of a stamped image that will look good, like jumping out from underneath back here. So what do I have? I have sentiment here, so happy to celebrate you, and I have sending hugs and thinking of you. And I ultimately was thinking the sending hugs was going to fit nicely in this die right here, which I would use on my outside. And then we have thinking of you would look nice on the inside. And then I do have some foliage plant things going on here. And I had pulled out my scraps earlier, these guys. And there are 2 stamps in here that are the 2-step stamping. This one must go with that, if I am guessing. Or let's just use that one, and we don't do 2-step stamping. Let's just use that guy. And what we're gonna do, I don't mind doing a leaf peeking out underneath here. And I just know that I gotta stamp it. I can't stamp it down here because it'll get covered up and weird. So what I wanna make sure I do is stamp it at the right spot. So I've got a nice cushion underneath here. I'll line this up. Boogie on over. All right. All right. Thinking of you. It's gonna go right up here at the top. I should say near the top. That's good. And then my foliage, I'm gonna stage this where I need it to be, and I'm gonna hover over, and I'm thinking right about there. All right, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't down too low that I was only seeing a little bit. I wanted to see something like that. Perfect. Okay, so as long as I have my ink open, it doesn't, oh, torn here. I'm gonna stop because it's not in the clue. I was starting to like want to work ahead. So we're focusing on clue number 4, which is stamp the sentiments and or focal images on the white or vanilla mat towards the top of the mat as shown. All right. Your missing die goes with the Thoughtful Moments Hybrid Embossing Folder set. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. I gotta write that down, you guys. One moment, please. Thoughtful Moments Hybrid. And this is Regan Zick. Okay. Let's, in a moment, I'm gonna look that up really quick. We're gonna test that that guess. All right, so I've got that written down. I'm gonna come back to that in a bit. So I bought you guys a little bit more time, or I should say Regan bought you guys a little bit more time with clue number 4. And again, clue number 4 was stamping your goods on the inside of the white there, or vanilla, whichever you're using. And now we're gonna go over to numero 5. And Laura's back. Very good. All right. Number 5. Adhere your white vanilla mat to the center panel of the card base as shown. Look at this. Jolene she did a great job. Here's your card base. Here's the score line. Here's the score line. And she said that what we need to do is adhere the mat to the center panel of the card base as shown. Hi, Suzanne Deppis. Welcome back. All right, so we're adhering. We're going to put that right here in the middle panel. Hi, Lynn Beasley. Yay, we're back. All right, just like that. That was a nice, simple step. All right. If you guys are good with that, make sure you let me know. So I've seen only Paula say she's done with 3. So hopefully you guys are cruising right along with me and I'm not going too crazy or overly fast. But we have our little 1.5 inch section here. We have this other section up here and we've got that middle section and I glued it. Just make sure on that previous step you didn't stamp too low. All right. GTG, good to go. We are on to clue number 6. Because we actually have 10 clues tonight. I have a stray die on your desk as well. Die looks like labeled with love, 163570. But I think Sherry Stewart, yes, hang on. Sherry Stewart, this is this die that we're using here. Yes, you are correct. That is labeled with love 163570. What we're talking about, what you guys were trying to help me figure out is that's one die and we're trying to figure out where that comes from. I have these lonely little soldiers hanging out there. All right, fancy clue sheets tonight, right, Linda Hall? I know, super cool. All right, number 6. We have along here, look at these pictures, apply tear and tape, preferred. I mean, you could also use a thin line of liquid glue to the left and the right sides of the 1.5 inch panel of the card base as shown and fold up to adhere the center panel. So this is where Jolene's got the hot pink here. Add tear and tape on the liquid glue or liquid glue here. So we have this. Your call. If you have a hard time with liquid glue because it's oozy and it messes all over and you get all over your fingers and it's a hot mess for you, don't use it. If you're going to use it, I would highly recommend you just use a little bit, not a lot. Like dot, not a lot. Now, what we talked about is using tear and tape. And what you could do with the tear and tape is rip off a piece and adhere it really close to the edge. don't worry if you go up over the north side of that score line, because when you fold it, you're not gonna see it anyways. It looks like Regan is right. Oh, very good. I like this. So Nancy is seconding her thought process. Okay, very good, very good. When we're done with making our card, you guys, we are going to pull my phone up and we're gonna look up the thoughtful moments together. All right, so now that we've got our tear and tape on, all we have to do is pick off the waxy part, and it says fold up to adhere to the center panel. So we're just gonna fold that up, right? Very good, very good, very nice, very nice. All right, so that was our clue number 6. Now, are you ready for clue number 7? All right, I feel like I'm going fast, but they're one-step clues. Normally when I write the clues, I put 3 things on one clue. And Jolene, she does you guys a solid, and she puts like 1 thing on a clue. So, all right, number 7 is next. Number 7. Adhere each of the coordinating pattern paper layers, so each of these guys, to the front of their respective panels. So you got to find their respective panels here, like that. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Very good. So what we're gonna do, just so I don't mess this up, we're gonna flip them both like this. What about ribbon? Let's think about this. I don't know if we talked about ribbon on here. Let me just scroll forward. I read it. There needs to be an addition on here. Ribbon. Think about it. All right? Think about your ribbon. This girl in front of you loves ribbon. I do. I love ribbon. I love to always try to figure out a way to add ribbon to a card. So when you add ribbon to a mat here, so I know for certain I'm not going to add ribbon. So I'm not going to even worry about this guy anymore. I'm just going to glue him. I'm not going to add ribbon here. All right, so I'm good with this. Hello, Kate from New Jersey. This one I'm going to take care of. This is part of the clue. It says adhere it. But before I do the other one, I want to think about my ribbon. There are 2 in that die set. Okay, we're going to go check third. Oh, Sherry said that she thirds Regan's vote. Okay, so let's think about ribbon. We haven't snuck ahead to the other clues, but if we want to put this on here and we want ribbon to be secured behind here for any reason, you want to make sure you attach your ribbon before you glue it down. Otherwise, you're going to be like prying it up and wedging it down. So I got to think about ribbon. I pointed out that I was thinking about using this thing, and there's actually 2 of these things. And I thought, how am I going to put these on a card? I don't want them to look like horns either. So all of a sudden I'm seeing horns here, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. I also have this one, which to me was the oddest shaped thing around. And I was trying to figure out a way to incorporate this on a card somewhere. And I was trying to play with this. Then earlier we cut this label. And the other thing is I want sending hugs on here. So where might I add ribbon? Will I be okay adding ribbon behind my label? Probably. And with that, then now I know, okay, I'm comfortable. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but I'm comfortable. I'm good, Kate. We're having a great mystery card night. I'm comfortable now gluing this down, right? But for anybody at home that's working on this, and you might want to put your ribbon tails behind or wrap around here, you want to do that before you get glue happy. But thinking about ribbon at this step is a good idea. And planning and strategizing would be good. So we thought about it. We're going to come back to it. So going back to this clue is adhering your coordinating cardstock and the DSP coordinating pattern paper mat to the front of your card. It's a C for Christine. Yep. And Sherry and Cheryl. So I I want to cut it apart is what I want to do with it. I'm thinking about that yet. All right, so that's clue number 7. So adhering your 2 layers to your card, opening up, and we've got our inside done already, which is super cool. So without further ado, let's move over to number 8. Numero 8. It's the only time I feel the need to speak some Spanish for you guys is with my numbers. All right, so what's this one? Here we go. Stamp focal images and or sentiments on the white vanilla scraps. Die cut, fussy cut, punch out the focal images and sentiments. So now this is where we really got to sit here and think about what are we doing. I now have permission to stamp a sentiment onto a scrap, which is what I'm going to do. But I am going to clean this one and grab this one and see what we can get into. I've got the pretty peacock I'm using again. It reminds you of a laurel crown. Absolutely, I agree with that too. It does. It reminds me of a crown. Yes, like the young men and women or the older men and women, whoever. The people from Athens and Greece, right? They wore them around they're like a crown. Yes. All right. Sending hugs and kisses and all of the love and all of the things. So what we're going to do is use our label die here. Grab some tape and we are going to die cut this. And we're going to see how this layers nicely with our other die cut image. So I'm just going to turn around. I'm going to use the machine to do this, guys. All right. So there's our label. And what I'm trying to do now is formulate in my head how this will best work with this guy. And I could opt to not use it. And I'm also thinking about how I could cut it in half and use part of it as a left and a right. Or if I cut it in half horizontally, I could use the top and the bottom. And I am drawn to one of these guys and having this. I want 2, and these are going the opposite way. And then I thought about this guy. I'm like undecided at this. He fits right here. He fits into this section. But then I thought, where's Bigger Tigger? So Nancy, Honey, and Hunky are sleeping on the chairs right behind me this way. Tigger hasn't been out here since I got out here. So what I was thinking about this guy is if there was a way for, I'm just going to cut it just to see what happens. Because I kind of like that one. And it's too big though. So I was trying to layer it. And so let's find a spot here. Let's find a spot. And we're going to cut this. Like that. And we probably will end up covering up the bottom. Got rid of my C, just like that. And I want more here. So and now they're facing the same direction, which is good. So what I thought about is putting that guy here. And that guy there. And keeping it simple. And then I would cut this in half horizontally. And then work with this. So I don't need those. And stamp focal images, sentiments. We've got that. Ha ha ha. Okay, so what I've done is I've prepped. You guys, trying not to do the clues ahead of before you seeing them. So I've prepped my focal images, what I'm going to use, and I've either die cut or fussy cut it. And now the next clue will tell me what I can do with them. So let's go over to clue number 9. Clue number 9 is adhere the focal images and sentiments to the card front. Okay, we can handle that. So for these, one of the ways that if your labels are the same size, what you can do is cut them in half vertically or horizontally. And then you just don't have the label around all four sides, I guess you could say, but I've got it that it meets right there in the middle. And then this one, I'm gonna flip it this way and bring it like that. So now it's gonna help me to border the top and the bottom with the peacock cardstock. Like that, it's good. Then I was going to have this guy layered up like that, and this one hanging out like this. And I want to add a little bit of ribbon. I have some of this white frayed ribbon here. And I also have a little bit of this coral ribbon. And there's actually a little bit of pink going on in here for me. Hi, Connie Moore coming in late. Better late than never. We are going to grab some tear and tape. And I was thinking, for me personally, of having this ribbon coming out the bottom and maybe a little coming out the top. And I'd have it more over there and a little bit over there. So first, we'll put some tear and tape on the top and the bottom. I'm going to have a little bit waiting in the wings right over here. Actually, enough for a bunch. And then I'm going to capture the tear and tape for me and do a little loop. And it might be just a little bit bigger. And a tail. I have that come out. Use that ribbon scissors. Cut it at an angle. Secure it with the tear and tape. And now I should have enough left over to do a loop and a tail on the other side. And something like this. And then bring that back. I had 6 inches of ribbon, which was the perfect amount for this. And then to add a little bit of this coral, I think it's coral. Take a tail here. And so you see I put another tear and tape back there. Now I'm gonna grab my tail and have that come out and bring it and make a loop. So that's coming behind there. And I might as well just come straight across. So I'm gonna prep that with another piece of tear and tape. Well, I guess it wants to loop-de-loop. So like that. We're gonna come across here and do a loop and a tail. And cut that. So that gave it a little pop more of color. And there. So I've got that. And this is going to get popped up, and these are going to get popped up. So the whole clue number 9 is adhering all this stuff to the front of your card. So let's put some at the tippy top here. And right like that. And then this guy can get some as well. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. And a 5. Oh, I guess we're going to do 6 because we're going to pick up the sticks. There we go, for good measure. So I've got my label ready. And now for this, I'm going to just put a little bit of liquid glue down here. You could use your non-committal dots if you wanted as well. This one was going to be more of my background one. I don't know, something like that. This one can go. So I was a little bit worried about that area because that's where I cut it out of. But the way I'm going to stage this, I'm going to have it partially covered up so that you won't even know that that was cut like that. And then this is going to go down like this. A little bit to the right hand side. My ribbon's already cut the length that I need it. And we have these gemsies. Oh wait, don't get ahead of yourself. But that's where I'm at so far, right? That little pop of color, it kind of, this is more of a petal pink and the coral is here, but this way it comes down, kind of adds a little bit of that orangey pink color. All right, so I've adhered my focal images and sentiments to the front of my card. And let's go over to number 10 and see what kind of trouble we can get into. Hello, Rosie Prouty from California. Embellish and Stella to your heart's content. So I found these little gemsies in my little thing over there, and I think they will be perfect because they also have this coppery look to them, which pulls in the pinks. We'll put 3 like that. Put a couple down here, down there, and 5 look nice to me. And then Stella Ella Ella. You can Stella all of the designer paper stuff that you guys use or pattern paper. And sometimes the borders look really nice. Stella it as well, the borders of mats. And you can also Stella ribbon if you so desire. So there. And that helped me use up the crown or the horns, right? Cut it apart and make it into 2 pieces. And these will get used sometime. I know that we'll use those, but it was a way for me to figure out how to use that. So, all right, there are no more clues, but what do you do next? It's time to share your card. Look at me, I got my card done, whoop, whoop. Yay, I like the thread and ribbon, yay, good, good. So I've made my card, and now it's time to share. Oh man, how do you share? So in the Facebook, what you guys would do is pull up Cards by Christine, which is my Facebook page. So right now we're currently watching via YouTube, but for those of you who are in Facebook and don't mind sharing things and want to share your cards, you would go to my events area where I have this. And right now, happening at this current moment, or in the future, it will be as a past event, you can go to October Mystery Card Making. And under the discussion, there's an event right now, which is what we are in. But as soon as I am done with this class, like my computer's sitting here, as soon as I end, I'm going to create a post that shows this picture right here. Time to share, post a picture of your creation in the comments for a chance to win a prize. So what I'm going to do is take a picture of my card like this, right? And for those that want to take the inside, you could also take the inside of your card, right? And you're going to go to the Facebook and share. What you can do is share this one, the first one, and then in the reply in the comments area of it, you could send in or take a picture or add the picture of the inside. And so at the moment, I don't currently have that post out there. I thought I had it scheduled. Going into class right now, I thought I had it scheduled, but I don't. But for those of you, when we're done with this one, if you go to the section that's past, where it says past, and I can show you here in the past one, if you go, I can show you via, if it shows it, happening now, and this is all upcoming. Oh, here in past. Let's see if it'll work. I don't know. Last time when I was live with you guys, it wouldn't let me share the past things, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. You have to click on the discussion and then look for this post, and that's where you can share a picture of your card. I'm excited with it. The Stella is great. Whoever helped me with my Stella pen while I was gone, that's Stella being used right here. It's a glitter pen, and it's controlled glitter. You can see it all up and down here. Controlled glitter is very good. Not the part where it gets all over you. That's not good. So what you guys want to do is share your card. And then what we'll do is anybody will, around the beginning of November, we'll go through and we'll see who all shared cards, and we will pull your name. And if you share 2 cards, that's great. We'll grab your name twice. If you share 3 cards, what we love to see is all the different cards using the same layout, which is a neat thing to see. Whew, good deal. All right, so I've been intrigued about this since Regan said it. So Regan, if you're still watching, we're pulling this up right now. So Regan said thoughtful moments. And let's see in the online store here what it is. And we're pulling up the dies. Pulling up the dies. This is, oh man, look at that. That looks like it to me. Now you guys, if you give me 30 more seconds, I'm going to go grab mine. And see. I don't ever remember using these dies, I'll be honest with you. I do have them right here. I don't remember having them upstairs where we found the die on the floor, but it'll be really interesting to see here if I have, oh man, I have 2 of them. Look at this, you guys. I have 2 of them right here. And there's another one, but that is the die. Wow. Okay, now that doesn't, it solves a mystery, but it doesn't solve my mystery. But Regan, so Regan, if you could message me your address here, my email address is Christine@cardsbycrispy.com. If you could send me your address, I will send a surprise prize in the mail for you, okay? Because you were right. You answered the question, and I said I would give a prize. So I just need your address, though, to mail you a prize, okay? So that helps answer the $1 million question, but it doesn't tell me why I have 2 of them here, because there are 2, and then looks like that, and then that, and 2 rainbows. Interesting stuff, you guys. So we'll have to figure out if I ever had borrowed anybody's dies, because I've only used this a couple times. When we had Rose's Technique Club class, we used it to die cut some stuff. But interesting. Well, would it be safe for me to put this in here? Probably it would be really safe for me to put this in here. And then at some point in the future, if somebody is missing theirs, we'll have to go in here and we'll get it out of there. But don't you love it, you guys? It's like, yeah, did somebody else use their dies upstairs? So, and that begs, like, that's the question. We only used that die set to do Rose's Technique class. I don't think I ever designed a class. And you guys, if you've been following me and watching me for a year or so, or a year and a half, whenever this came out, have I ever used this for anything besides Rose's Technique class? I don't think I have. So that's interesting. Yes, hopefully. I mean, unless I don't think I have 2 of this set. I feel like I only have 1. Yeah, interesting. Okay. But that was correct. Good answer. Good answer. Yes, congratulations to Regan on that. Maybe a friend had this set at your house. It's so interesting. So we moved everything out of my real craft room the first week of August, and we've been living in my guest bedroom for designing and cutting paper all of August, September, and half of October now. So 2.5 months. I found it on the floor in the guest room about 4 weeks ago. I found it the week before the escape, so back in middle of September. So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I found it upstairs in my craft room, not where these dies really have ever been. So interesting. Well, I'll have to see once. It's not going to be many people, if any, because there's only maybe a handful of people that would have potentially brought their dies over to help me out with something. So yeah, but it was upstairs in my craft room that we had that. So all right, you guys, what a wonderful mystery card night. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and I hope that we have inspired you to make this matchbook card. Now, when you look at the inside of this too, just like we did for the sweet class, this could be used if you want. You could stick, not a credit card, but a gift card, right? You could put somebody's picture in here. I think that was a recommendation earlier, that instead of putting a check or cash or a gift card, you could also insert a picture. So if you're looking for a nice Christmas card, you could utilize this layout, and then in the inside pocket here, you could put the picture of your kids or your family, and then that could go to your parents or the grandparents or the friends, the aunts, the uncles, the godparents, and then it's a way for you to deliver a picture in a card. So yeah. Woo! All right. There we have it. That was our mystery card night for October. So for those of you who are part of my VIP group, I will be putting that PDF, this one, into there. That's what I do. I put that into my VIP group. So for those people who have ordered products from me or have gotten product-based classes, or if you're on my team, the Be Happy Stampers, you can reach out to me if you're not part of my VIP group, but I put this file in there. And also for those who subscribe to my Inspiration Hive, I already have it out there in the Inspiration Hive, so you could access a copy of it that way. And that's where I share it. And I'm not buffering, Gwen, so I'm good with that. I lost a die for a year. Then I pulled out a magnetic calendar and found it on the magnet backer. The next time that month came around, the following year. Now that is quite the story. We have it when we are designing. If we have these photopolymer stamps on our desk loose, and I have found where if I take my cutter and I prop it up right on top of my desk area, that my cutter picks up the photopolymer stamp, and then you look behind the cutter or the bottom of the cutter, and that's where I found a couple stamps in the past. And there's one time where Bigger Tigger got it stuck on his butt. I don't know. He got it stuck to him somehow. And it ended up on a chair, right? And Tyler, we were telling Tyler the story, and Tyler did not believe Diane and me. He did not believe us. He said, Tigger didn't do that. You're blaming the cat for something that he didn't do. All right. So Tyler proceeds to walk up. I'm sitting at my craft table. Tyler is leaving for work, and he wants to give me a kiss. He's holding Bigger Tigger. And he's holding him so that his body is on his arm and his paws are hanging down. And Tyler comes in, because I'm sitting, Tyler comes in to give me a kiss. And Tigger ends up with his paws on the table. And as Tyler pulls Tigger away, I looked at his paws, and he had a photopolymer stamp stuck to his paw. And I looked up at Tyler, and I looked down at Tigger, and I looked back up at Tyler, and I'm like, you just set this cat up to steal our stamp again. And now you better believe us, because Bigger Tigger took us our stamp the last time. Got stuck on his fur or something. And so it was good. So I was just actually reminding Tyler of that story this past weekend, because I was watching, when I had more time in my day, I would watch a stamper. Her name was Gail Ellis from Australia. And I love her accent. And I remember the one time I happened to catch her live, her cat was with her. And she said, and the cat was walking all over her stuff. And she said, cheeky bugger, you watch out or you're going to get a stamp on your butt. I mean, she said it in her Australian accent though. And it was just hilarious. And I had to play it for Tyler a couple times because we loved how she said it. So now we say that to each other when the cats are by. Watch out, cheeky bugger, you're going to get a stamp on your butt. And so that's how that goes. But yes, the cats do have a tendency, or the dogs, or the animals, or the pets, whatever you might have, they have a way of picking up things and accidentally carrying them to far away places that you would never know why or how it happened, but it happens. So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. And we did good. It's 7:13. It's officially done with YouTube live time today with you guys. You have lots of videos to watch if you didn't catch all of them from earlier. I have Chris is here, and we are going to be going through what she's been helping me on my cutter upstairs. She's been helping me cut lots of bases and mats. And so we're going to start doing our kitting for tomorrow for all of the November classes. The next 3 days are going to be kitting galore. And that's what is on for our forecast, is a lot of kitting. And we just got to make sure we have everything staged, and then we'll have lots of fun kidding for the next few days. So again, if you guys need to get signed up for any classes, don't hesitate to reach out via email or text or Facebook message, or some people like to call. Anyways, that's good too. Just know that that I'm here to help, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can with any messages that you send me. So wonderful. All right, and Regan, don't forget to send me your address if you'd like me to mail you a prize, okay? And then for everybody else, get working on your cards so that you can share them with us. And yeah, same with the Share, Create, Inspire. If you guys share your Share, Create, Inspire card that you made based off of today's, share it out there as well. I'll make sure that that post is out there too. So wonderful. My cat has had the pop-up dots paper on his butt. Yeah, I know. That's fun too when the cats do that. And honey, I had a re-inker on the bottom of your stamp pad. On the bottom over here, there are these things, and what I do is I put them on one of them I put on my re-inker, and I had one upstairs just kind of floating loosely because I never put it on my re-inker yet. Honey managed to get that one, and it was stuck on her paw, and she kept shaking her paw, and we thought there was something wrong with her butt because she kept like hitting her butt funny with it. I don't know, it was just like, what did she do? What did she get stuck on her butt? Well, it was her back paw that had it stuck on it, and they don't like sticky things on their fur. So good job. All right, you guys, lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. We will see you on Wednesday night for Iconic Celebrations, Ink, Paper, Scissors. Love you. All right. Perfect, Susan. Thank you. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.